So hi Patricia.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Accepting my invitation.
It's great.
So tell me, what do you do?
Okay, so I think I've looked at the camera. I'm a sound healer and also an online business, spiritual online girl. So basically what I do is I work with, first of all and foremost, single women who are looking to attract their soulmate. And then I work with another niche of single women and women who are looking to awaken their inner power and their inner divine power. So basically it's all about, for me, working with women who are blocked in their career or in their work or in their lives, and they feel stuck and they need to move forward. And when they're like that, it just can feel like everything is like falling down around you. It feels like struggling, like you don't, and it's not like depression, but it's like, everything is tough. Like, the people who are surrounding you are not happy, you're not happy, you're not like your vibrant and happy self, and things don't seem to flow and come into flow for you. So lots of the tools that I use that I've trained in are like sound therapy, Feng Shui, Reiki Master, like I've body mind balancing, kinesiology. All of those modalities are all what I've used to work with people in the past with attracting what they want into their lives. Because when you become into alignment, that's when you attract whatever you want into your life. And it doesn't actually matter what tools we use, it's only about kind of coming into that space. So that my main mission is to help women to kind of create the dream life that they want. So one part of it that is, attracting their soulmate and finding the right person for them. So that is one of the kind of aims for some women, is to actually meet that right person who gets them. And I'm so lucky that I have met that person for myself. But that's what I wanted to help women to do, that as kind of one area of that's important for them and for their lives. But the other element is about attracting the person who or attracting the life, the career, the dream, whatever that dream is, because we all have very different like aims and ambitions, but it's about awakening what that is and then welcoming it into your life.
Tell me one thing, when did that happen? When did you make that shift on your life?
When did that happen? Okay, so I've always been a pretty complimentary kind of girl, but when I was in my early 20s, I set up a business with my father. I set up a restaurant, so I was 24, I had 30 staff. It was pretty intense and it was a really steep learning curve, and I challenged myself a lot. I've done a lot and I've had a lot of success in business when I first started out, but I felt trapped. I was in a relationship that I was not happy in, and I used to go home every Friday and cry on the couch. Like every single Friday I cried on the couch. It was like a joke in our relationship that I was Friday. So Friday, what happened was I actually started to go blame it on the relationship, because it couldn't be the career. But really what was going on for me was that my soul was not expressing itself fully. I was really unhappy in every part of my life. So the one area I obviously blamed was my poor partner at the time. He was like, oh, it's all his fault. But it actually wasn't his fault at all. It was more about me and being called, my internal calling, crying. My soul was crying every Friday. So how that came about then was to start to unlock it. And first of all, I left the relationship. Then I thought, oh, that's great, I'm sorted, the relationship's over. And still about 3 years later, I was still in crisis mode. I moved then into a whole party mode, like, oh my god, I'm free and single. Like, no, that is not a good idea either, because it was like out binge drinking, I was not looking after my body. I kind of went from hiding in one relationship to hiding in this other space, that I was hiding from myself, hiding from my soul, my ambitions, my dreams. Like on the outside, everything looked perfect. Like I had like a lovely body, I had a lovely little BMW car, with a lovely house, I good money, all the things on the outside looked perfect, but actually on the inside I was like crumbling, actually crumbling. So I ended up in front of a life coach by accident. I have no idea how I ended up sitting in front of her, and she was like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know, nobody's ever asked me what I want. So that was really where it started to unfold, and I went on, I started practicing yoga, I went on a yoga retreat to Italy, and I was staying on this retreat. In the meantime, I had started going to different healers, and not intentionally, like someone would tell me about it. I got interested in angel card reading, in angel cards. I got introduced to like spirituality in a very diverse way. I got introduced to spirituality in a very diverse way, and it was amazing. Like just like all the different snippets started coming in, and I know you were going to ask me like how it started. Was that But that was how it started. Like I started doing yoga first of all, so that starts physically opening at you, and when you start to physically open, other starts to come in. And in the meantime, I ended up like quit my job and moved to India, became a yoga teacher, because I actually saw this yoga teacher and I thought she had it all sorted. You know, I saw her, she was all zen, she was all happy, she was like, I have my life sorted, and you know, I thought that's what I want.
So that was your awakening.
That was my awakening. This like I want to be that. But actually, when the reality hit, when I did move back to Ireland after being in India, with a big open heart, fell in love again with someone who wasn't ready to commit. And you know, I hadn't sorted any of my stuff out about relationships at all. I still hadn't worked on why that relationship in the past had broken up. I still hadn't done any of that work. So I suppose that's part of the soulmate thing, because I truly believe that to attract your soulmate into your life, you have to really clear your past and to really acknowledge like where and why you worked, what worked, what didn't work. And I did a lot of deep healing on all of that. So that's where my program Soulmate Attraction Formula came from, was me doing a lot of deep work in that area, but also on myself. And I came back and, you know, I fell in love with this guy, moved to Dublin. I had no interest in ever moving to Dublin, and here I am in Dublin 5 years later.
5 years.
Nearly 5 years later, marrying my soulmate. And actually I'm so grateful for that guy that I fell in love with all those years ago, who I never saw again, because if I hadn't met him, I wouldn't have moved to Dublin, and then if I didn't move to Dublin, I wouldn't have met Ken, I wouldn't have started this life that I have now. So, you know, I totally do believe in synchronicities, but you have to be open to it. You have to be physically and mentally open. And I think that sometimes, and what has really happened is that we're brought up in a society where it's like no is the main word. No, you can't do that. And you know, there's a lot of you know, when you want to do something new and positive for yourself, they're like, why would you do that? Like, why just change the status quo? And why would you have to go to, you know, you have to go to college, get married, have children, blah, blah, blah. No, cool, I'm totally up with that, that's cool. But you have to also follow your soul and do what you really, your true purpose in life, and whether it's creativity or art or spirituality or whatever that path is. There's a path for everybody, but it's sometimes finding it, it's tricky.
Exactly. Tell me about your new formula. So you have a formula for Attract the Soulmate.
I know this actually, and I'm actually dubious about my name of it now, but the Soulmate Attraction Formula is an 8-week program which I created just not intentionally, it just happened. It's an 8-week program that it came to me through all the work that I had done, because actually a lot of people used to ask me, how did you meet Ken? What did you do? And to be honest, I didn't sit at home wondering how to meet a man. I did get up and go out and try and meet guys, and I met guys. But I also did a lot of internal journeying, and I really scavenged through my past. And then I started working with clients, my own therapy practice, and I worked with a lot of single women who were looking to attract someone into their lives. And really, some of them are emotionally shut down, emotionally unavailable, not ready for love. They still haven't sorted out their past thing, or they're spending so much time looking at the past. So really, that is what it is. It's all about. And the biggest shining light on this was when I trained to be a Feng Shui practitioner, and that was such an awakening, because when we went to single women's houses, I just happened to get loads of single women as clients, and going to their houses trying to attract love, and they want the real one thing they want is love, and you go in and you're like, oh no, what are you doing? And I think you saw the webinar that I did about magnetize your bedroom.
Absolutely.
There's so many little things you could do and they're just like programming themselves to be single. And that was one of the areas that I thought, wow, we can really help people, like really help people. And you know, there's a lot of suffering, like internal suffering that goes on as a single woman because you think there's something wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with you at all, but you just don't realize that you haven't actually sorted some stuff out that you can then just like literally attract the right person in, like that. So that's what the program is all about. It is a deep process, and it's not for the faint-hearted. It's for someone who's willing to do the work and put in some effort. But it is transformative. It's amazing. It's fun, and it's.
So how long it takes, the program?
The program takes 7 to 9 weeks, but actually it's there's a lot of information in 7 to 9 weeks. Like it's just like thrown at you, and then once you do it, like I would say, still, like you're never going to. It's a healing journey. It's taken you how many years to get to here, and 7 weeks isn't the cure all. What it is going to be an opportunity to dive deep into it and unpeel the crap. You know, and peel off the layers, and it is like an onion, and we've just started all this time to put on these layers of stuff, and it takes time to just go ooh and lift them away, so you start becoming clearer with what it is you want to attract into your life.
Amazing. So last question for you.
Okay.
Easy one.
Okay.
How do you see what do you recommend to someone that is now awakening for spirituality?
Okay.
What do you recommend?
So what I would say for someone who is awakening to spirituality is to actually just set an intention that you're going to meet the right people and that you're going to attract in the right things to do for you, because there are so many modalities. Like there is hundreds of things that you could be doing. Like there's Reiki, yoga, IET, reflexology, I don't know, there's Matsu, Shiatsu, you know, there's Qigong, billions of things, shamanic paths, like, you know, they're all leading to the one thing. And what it is about, like, I suppose it comes to that whole idea of yoga. Yoga means union. It means a union with yourself and with spirit. And whatever that is, you just trust that you're doing the right thing. So if you set the intention that you are going to attract in the right people into your life, they'll just start to fall into your place, but you have to be open to it. So I would actually recommend doing a little bit of yoga, because that is really good, physically opening you up. But like if it is, you know, just, and like don't try and be, you know, I want to be this. It's like if you're really caught on like, I want to be like an awakened, enlightened person, like that's total crap. Like, you know, what I would say is that just like really trust and like not like hear, you know, if you keep hearing someone telling you about Reiki, go for a Reiki session. You know, if you keep hearing, or you're reading a certain book and you're hearing someone's name repeated again, look it up and Google it, YouTube it, and see what that's about. And you know, there's a huge awakening at the moment with like mindfulness and meditation. And for me, I love mantras. I love using mantras, and they're so powerful. But people look at me like, mantras? You know, like I'm an alien, but that's totally cool, because that's what's good for me. This evening, I'm going to be going off for an hour and a half, singing my heart out, chanting. I love it. There's other people that will be just like, that sounds like my idea of hell. But you just pick what you like. And that's the thing. You go for tasters. Like, you don't have to sign up for 10 months of something. Just go and just try different things, and you'll feel like, this is what I'm meant to do. And you have to trust that you're on the right path, because if you start struggling with it, you're never going to get on any path at all. You just be like, what? Where am I? You know, and I think that is one of the big issues with like your awakening, is that it's very confusing. And it's just like, you feel like, oh my God, after a session you feel on top of the world, and I feel amazing, and then it's like, oh, you know. And it's about maintaining that, like trying to maintain it, and acknowledging that when you feel that connection with divine, that you go, oh yeah, well I've had it, so I know that it exists, and trusting that it can come back. But it's not about struggling to be there. It's about being here in the present moment and enjoying whatever's going on and clearing a vision for what you want. So if it is to be enlightened, it's cool, but you know, just do your best every day. Be kind with your words. One of the first books that I read was the 4 Agreements, and I did a workshop on it, and it is just one of the simplest philosophies you could ever come across. And I would recommend the 4 Agreements, and actually also the 7 Secrets of Spiritual Success by Deepak Chopra.
Amazing.
Is that okay?
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you.
We'll pop your contacts below on YouTube. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.